Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, I am Michael A. Grimm, aka Multi-Voice Reviewer. I have many voices, but one opinion. And yeah, I know. That last review I did, my thoughts about Marvel Phase 4 and Phase 5, you think that was the last part of the Marvel-thon. Well, let's just say that I discovered something, and I think it's time that the Marvel MCU should do. And this is going to be like this is honestly my final idea that I think that the MCU should do. And here's one thing I also discovered. Did you know that there are British Marvel superheroes in the Marvel universe? And if I tell you about the if I told you about the British superhero, what came into mind? No, not Doctor Who. Although Marvel Comics, which is they call Marvel UK, they did comic book series of Doctor Who back in the 60s and 70s. And now Marvel can no longer do comic books of um of Doctor Who. Heck, they were back then. They used to do Star Wars until Dark Horse owned it. And now, since Disney owned Marvel, they also own Star Wars, and now Marvel decided to do their Star Wars comics now and forget what happened on the Dark Horse comics, which I kind of find that really sad. And now Doctor Who is owned by another company called IDW, same company that owns Star Trek. And I am still looking for that damn crossover comic I'm trying to find. I'm trying to find those two graphic novels where Matt Smith Doctor Who crosses over. Man, it's getting windy. Crosses over with Captain Jean-Luc Picard and the Enterprise, known as Doctor Who slash Star Trek Next Generation Assimilation Square, I guess it was called. I mean, I'm still trying to look for that graphic novel, and this time I might be able to review that comic because I haven't been reviewing any comic books lately, and I think I should start. But believe it or not, Marvel did a little something called Marvel UK, where they focus on British superheroes, and there are these two superheroes that, they should have gone solo, but I think they should be together in this British movie to expand more on on two British superheroes who don't get along but has to work together. And the two superheroes I'm thinking about is none other than Captain Britain. Now, for those of you who don't know who Captain Britain is, now he goes by the name of, his name is Brian Breddick. And he's sort of he's a rich kid. He's a rich British kid who owns his own company. And he appeared in Captain Britain Weekly #1 in December 1976. In his origin, he owned his own company, and he had a group of scientists who was working on some sort of experiments or something, into a group of evil terrorist organization who starts barging into his lab, getting all the information that they discover, and kept killing every single scientist in the lab. And Brian himself was in the lab, but the group was like, no prisoners. So Brian quickly ran away from them, and he hopped onto his motorcycle and vroom, just ran out of the lab and into the hills until the terrorists had a helicopter and they were firing their guns at him, and then he fell from a cliff and landed right on top of these two stones standing right in front of him. Now, between these two stones, there's this one stone where it has Excalibur, and the spirit of Merlin wants him to choose Excalibur so he could become the new king of England. Or choose this medallion that was standing next to the Excalibur would give him superpowers. And after he was being gunned down by the terrorists, he quickly grabbed the medallion and put it on around his neck, and then, boom. He becomes a new crime-fighting superhero who calls himself Captain Britain. And his power and abilities, he can fly, he has detectable abilities, kind of like a spider sense in a way. And he also shoots laser beams out of his hands, like... And and after that, he also became... He started a group called the Excalibur. He was in MI6 for a while, and also there is an Elseworld where he created a group called Captain Britain Corps, where he has a bunch of his followers who wants to be more like him. So he formed a group called the Captain Britain Corps, where he has a group of his friends dress up like him and doing exactly like he's doing. And oh, and a little known fact: if any of you remembered Psylocke from X-Men Apocalypse, well, here's the thing. Wait a minute, I think she's in the book. Yep, yep, she's here, all right. Psylocke. Her name is Elizabeth Betsy Bullock Braddock. Same last name as Captain Britain. You see, Psylocke here is Captain Britain's sister, and how her story goes. Some people say that she's a mutant, but her ability, she can make this psionic blade come out of her hand, kind of like Wolverine, but it's a psionic blade, not adamantium. And on her story, now, if some of you remembered my top 10 female superheroes I love, she is one of them. She's on my list. And it's been so long, I forgot which number I put her in. But, on her story, she started out as a British girl until when she died, she transferred her body into a Japanese woman. Wow. Now, when I heard about they're going to have Psylocke appear on X-Men Apocalypse and have Olivia Munn, now I love Olivia Munn. I mean, she is so freaking hot. She is awesome. I mean, she's a real nerd, a real geek in real life. But sadly, they made her character not exactly all that important. I mean, they just made her into a side character and as one of Apocalypse's four horsemen, which I gotta say, that sucks. They should have done better with that character. Maybe MCU should do something about it. Have her. I mean, I don't know if Olivia Munn can pull off a British accent, but if they have Olivia Munn reprising the role and make her character more interesting, this will be perfect. And now another character that I want Captain Britain to get involved in is, of course, none other than Union Jack. That is the second character I'm going to talk about. Now that is a second sort of a superhero who is also British. Now, there were a lot of Union Jack characters in the comic books. I mean, heck, when they did Captain America, that one British soldier who is the member of the Howling Commandos, he was the original Union Jack back in World War II. And of course, he passed the torch to his son, nicknaming Union Jack, until we have the modern Union Jack here. His real name is Joseph Chapman. Now, Union Jack... Oh, here's the name of the original Union Jack. The original Union Jack, his name is Lord James Falsworth. That was the character in that Captain America movie. And then he had a son named Brian who took over the mantle after his father in World War II. And then after he was getting old and no longer become Union Jack anymore, he tried to pass it to his son, but his son is really ill and sick and cannot take over. So he gave it to his best friend, who goes by the name of Joseph Chapman. Now, Joseph Chapman, he's sort of a no-nonsense kind of, I mean, no-nonsense kind of guy. I mean, he's from Manchester, and I always hear those British Manchesting men are the toughest, roughest guys in the world. Because they don't take no crap from anybody. Now, why do I have to put, I mean, in the comic book, Captain Britain and Union Jack. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. Union Jack, he doesn't have any superpowers. He relies on his antique pistol, has been around since World War II, and a dagger. And, well, he's not exactly a superhero. He's a secret agent man, secret agent man. Hey, he's giving you a number and taking away your name. Down, 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 brown secret agent man. So having Captain Britain and Union Jack together, it's like having Superman and James Bond teaming up, in a way. And why do I want to put them together? I just think it's time that the MCU could focus more on the UK superhero of the MCU. I mean, since the comic book's been doing a lot of comics about them, I think it's time that they should have a movie break. Now, one thing I have interesting, everybody knows that Brandon Braddock, he's one of those high class London society type people. So he'll be talking. So he'll be more like, "Hello, my name is Britain, Captain Britain, here to save the day." And Union Jack, he's from Manchester, so he has like a low class Cockney type. He's like, "What the bloody hell are you? The name's Union Jack, and I take no shite from anybody." So I thought having these two together would be really, really funny and different. So it'll be like, "Hey, who the bloody hell are you? British rip-off of Captain America? The name's Captain Britain, and you should talk, low-class James Bond. Hey, don't call me James Bond. I'm more like Batman compared to you." So, so these two, they don't get along. They criticize the way they act, and they don't like how their method goes. But when they have like the last remaining of Hydra, who's ready to destroy England, kind of like the same way that Hydra was trying to destroy New York in Captain America: Winter Soldier. So I think that's when Captain Britain and Union Jack, they're kind of like, I have to say, you and I were after the same bad guys, right? Yeah, that's right. Those wankers always keep trying to destroy a lot of innocent people out here. So, I think we should put aside our differences and work together. For once, I agree. Besides, these Hydras are massive wankers than you. If I can get used to that language of yours, I'm sure we should get along. Yeah, right. So let's go kick some ass. And they decided to work together. And even I would imagine this scene. Shh, quiet. I'm trying to break in this door here. Allow me. There you go. Show off, tosser. I mean, the idea of this will be great and awesome. And a lot of rumors are saying that they're going to have Orlando Bloom as Captain Britain or Christian Bale as Captain Britain. And they haven't think much on Union Jack. But here's one thing I would know. If you want to get more pointers about Union Jack, go to YouTube, because one thing I heard on YouTube, there is a fan-made series of Union Jack, and I gotta say, I am really impressed by these guys who made Union Jack. I mean, they made the character really interesting. I mean, that's where I got the idea of Union Jack. I mean, if Union Jack would be more like the one from the fan-made series in the MCU, it would be I mean, it'll be really, really cool. Now, the casting, now the casting is a tricky part. I would say, I mean, a lot of people also said that the actor who played Superman and Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League would play Captain Britain, but no, I don't think. I mean, he played Superman, and I don't think he should be typecast as a super-powered superhero. I think, I think that, and I don't think Christian Bale. I mean, I don't think much on Christian Bale playing Captain Britain either. I mean, no offense to the fans, and the same thing goes to Orlando Bloom. But the only person I think would be really, really, really good to play Captain Britain, well, now bear with me, I only have the DVD, but it has the character's face on it because I still don't have a printer. I'm still hoping I can get a wireless HB printer for my birthday because June 4th is coming, and that's when I become 35 in June 4th. But anyway, the actor who I think would be perfect to play Captain Britain is none other than... Wait a minute, what's his name? Daniel Craig, sorry. I think Daniel Craig will be perfect to play Captain Britain because I can definitely see Daniel Craig wearing the British flag as a costume, flying around, shooting lasers, and just going around going like, "Hello, I'm Captain Britain, and I'm afraid you're in trouble." And the other actor I think will be really good. Now, I've been thinking about this actor a lot. I mean, no actor cannot pull off a funny, cockney, British actor who can play both dramatic and funny. None other than this guy here, Jason Bloody Statham. I mean, I know what you mean. I could imagine Jason Statham playing Union Jack. I mean, he'll be like, "Hi, I'm Union Jack. What the bloody hell do I know about superpower humans? I'm just a secret agent. Sent here by MI15. Yeah, they're kind of like the MI6 in the Marvel world. But having Daniel Craig playing Captain Britain and Jason Statham as Union Jack, I mean, that would be pretty cool. And I think it's about time that most of these British actors who plays Marvel superheroes should play more as themselves, their British self. I mean, I knew that. I mean, we have like two British actors playing Spider-Man, and well, let's see. No, just Spider-Man. British actors playing Spider-Man. But I think these would be pretty awesome to play the British superheroes. And one thing I gotta say, come on, MCU, work on that one. I mean, that would be a really awesome thing to create. And let the Americans know about the British Marvel superheroes. Of course, if it was up to me, I would have added the Doctor from Doctor Who in it. Because you know me, I'm a diehard Whovian. But I guess Disney will never own BBC. And I always love BBC anyway. I don't even know if there is a Disney UK. I mean, I know there was Euro Disney, but that's in Paris. And it's not as popular as Disney in America. Well, anyway, this is my thought about Captain Britain and Union Jack. For those of you who likes this idea, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe. And I swear, honest to God, this was my last Marvel-thon video. And this is it. This is the last thought. Because the next thing I'm going to do, well, my next review, I'm going to review Indiana Jones. I mean, heck, I live here in Indiana. Florence, Indiana, to be precise, but still Indiana. So, time for me to put in my archaeologist clothing. So, if you don't mind, folks, I'm gonna go on a quest to find the Indiana Jones trilogy on DVD without the Crystal Skull, because that movie still sucks. So stay tuned, folks, because I'm gonna go on an Indiana Jones quest to find the DVDs and do my review. So stay tuned. Do you know that the theme song to Indiana Jones sounds very similar to the theme song to the Indiana national anthem?